Greetings, friends and enemies, and welcome back to Art by Flan. Today we have the third entry in my MerMay spring flower series thing, and this one is the Daffodil. Now, daffodils have a special place in my heart because I remember they used to grow wild around one of the houses I lived in growing up. So there were three flowers that grew kind of around my house that stick out in my memory, and that was daffodils, morning glories, and marigolds. Now, my mom planted the marigolds. They won't be featured in this series, by the way. This is just a fun story. She planted them in big planters we had out in front of our house. Well, my dad, being the ever handyman he was, decided to give them fertilizer, and we had a massive amount of marigolds constantly. Over-fertilized them. They overgrew. It was outrageous, the amount of marigolds we had. But back to daffodils, which is the subject of this piece of art. Daffodils just grew naturally, wildly next to our house. I don't know if people who lived there planted them, or if some seeds just got carried by birds or whatever, but I remember waiting for the bus stop in the early spring, not summer, and seeing the morning glories, which blew my mind because they just close up at night and open in the morning. Outrageous to my, third grade mind. And daffodils, which were always really, really pretty. We had the yellow variety. So I picked the daffodil because it is one of the first perennials, which is, flower talk, to bloom after the winter. And they come in shades of white and orange and yellow, obviously. And I picked the yellow one because it went nice with the skin tone of this lovely young lady. But another great fact about daffodils is their Latin name is Narcissus, which is, if you've ever heard of Greek mythology, that one guy who really loved his own reflection. And it's the basis of my favorite joke from the movie Hercules. I haven't seen this much love in a room since Narcissus discovered himself, which is... It's so dumb. I love it. But so that's sort of what I'm working on here. You'll notice in this particular video that I've slowed down a lot of the base coloring and the final rendering touches that I do. I don't have a lot of footage for these, like I said, because they're relatively simple. But I don't want line art and shading to take up so much of my videos anymore. They're the longest parts of any piece I do, and I feel like they just make my videos so boring. You guys don't come here to see me do line art and shading every single week. You want the fun stuff. You want to see me color stuff and change the colors of stuff, I guess. But so you'll notice in the next two videos, those will be a little bit slower than the other ones. It is sped up. I don't work this fast. I even work even slower, but not by much. Like 200% is what it's sped up at. But as you can see here, I went for oranges and yellows as kind of her main colors to kind of fit with the orange and yellow daffodil theme. I feel like she has more orange than yellow because of her hair, but I don't know. You guys can let me know. I wanted to keep a minimum of 3 colors, I think, is what I've used on all of these. She looks very goldfishy, I think. I probably could have stood to use maybe some whites or something instead of the oranges, but I think she came out okay. I like her. She's one of my favorites. My only gripe is that I didn't put enough time into researching natural hair, so I don't feel like I shaded it the best I could shade it. Like I said, these are really quick, really simple pictures. So I wanted to just make it easy on myself, but in the process, I think I missed some chances to learn more about natural wavy black hair. But what can you do now? I did my best to help me feel less stupid about it. I added more sparkles to her than I did the other roommate. So there you go. Oh gosh. So moving on to final rendering here, and I actually remember to turn my fan off in this video. I didn't in the other one, it was too hot, but now I'm regretting turning it off because it's really hot in this room. Let's see if I can find anything more about daffodils. No, there are lots of, they're a very common flower, like I said. They grew a lot wildly around where I lived when I was younger, so they do hold a special place in my heart. I remember, I'm recording this around Mother's Day, so it's kind of relevant. If I'd have thought, carnation, I think, is the next one. Which I should have put that out this week, but I didn't. Anyway, I used to pick a whole bunch of them, even though they were right near our house. I used to pick a bunch of them for my mom for Mother's Day, and she'd always be like, "Oh, I love them. They're so beautiful." It's like, I know they just grow right around the house, but I'm in 3rd grade, and you love them because you're my mom. But yeah, I always struggle for things to talk about in this. Hold on a second. Excuse me, I had to get a drink. I was getting parched already. Because there's not really a lot to them. Like, I feel bad saying that, but it's kind of the truth. I put time into them, obviously, but I didn't put as much time as I would something else, because like I said, I wanted to kind of take a chill pill and do some easy stuff before I moved on to some harder stuff. Got a collab or two in the works coming up for y'all. Be excited about that. So I wanted to get these done and out of the way before I focused on bigger pieces. To kind of have a chill spring month and sort of celebrate that it's finally warm where I live. Like where I live, it's literally winter 6 or 7 months out of the year, and there might not be snow on the ground the entire time. Like winter months, there's snow. It snows here, but it got cold. I think it got cold like very end of October, like bitter cold, like the tail end of October. So it's been cold because I remember the kids having to go trick or treating in coats and stuff. But it's been cold since like October, and it's finally starting to warm up. And I live on the 3rd floor of an apartment, so all heat rises and keeps my apartment really hot throughout the day. So even if it's not incredibly hot, even if it's nice, mild spring weather outside, my apartment could be freaking steaming because all this heat comes up and hangs out in my apartment. But so that's why you'll hear me complain about it being hot in here, even though it's not that hot outside. It's actually rather nice outside. I gotta run some errands. I'm looking forward to it. It keeps things nice and refreshing. But it's really strange to see this footage kind of slow down instead of just speeding through. Because I think, oh man, did I forget to speed this up? No, I did. It's the right speed. But you guys can get definitely an in-depth look about at least how I move about my layout and what my layout looks like on Photoshop, and actually not wonder why I'm speeding through these. It's it's weird. But we should be shifting into the final piece here soon, and if you like what you see, don't forget to click that like button. You can subscribe. You can find out all my social medias down below, on my Patreon, my Ko-fi, things like that. And a special shout out to my patrons over on Patreon, Adria Scribbles and Parzival. Got it right this week. Thank you guys so much, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.